Go.
Let's go. We need to get to lunch. Come on.
Alright, go.
We're at EcoVivarium. We're at EcoVivarium.
It has sandwiches. Okay. You guys ready to go on the tour?
Yep.
So right over here we have our insects, and we're currently in the process of building our insect forest on the other side. So we're still under construction, but once construction is complete, then everything will be in its proper place rather than on tables. So right here we have a little fire rose hair tarantula. Come here, sweetie. Oh, there we go. There we go. So this is a Chilean fire rose hair tarantula. Now these guys are really cool. Would you like to hold them?
They don't bite.
Nope.
They're not
They're just
poisonous.
No, they do have some venom, but their fangs, one, our tarantulas aren't gonna bite you, and two, their fangs aren't that long. They're not.
He's not gonna bite.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, you don't have to.
You wanna try it, Poo Poo?
So,
It's
they're,
your first time to touch
Yeah,
this.
come on. Let's try it.
well, there's gonna, if they don't want to, there's many more animals for them
Okay.
to hold.
You wanna try it?
But rather than, because humans have a lot, it's not really that useful for them to waste their venom on humans and other big predators, because it's just going to be onto a predator or a human, and that's what is, oh, come here, Chili, and that is what they use as a deterrent. The hairs are very irritating, and even some settle first, like that.
I thought you always want to have a spider as a pet.
Or can you bring the hand over to the camera more? Yeah. Looky, can you step back a little bit? Yeah. Now look at Yeah, look at Alright, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Web is all on the ground, versus a spider would have the web up in a corner or in they can eat.
Okay.
They also will use them to make these mats out of the bedding or whatever is on the ground, and when they go into a process. You gonna hiss for me? There we go. So this is a Halloween hissing cockroach. And so you make that sound by pushing air through what's called their spiracles, and those are really small holes on their abdomen right here. And so they make that sound because to stop people from eating them. So let's say that you had a sandwich. Are you gonna drop the sandwich and run, or are you gonna continue eating the sandwich? You're gonna drop it and run, right? And so that's what they help. When something goes to eat them, they'll pick them up in their mouth and they'll hear the little hiss. And hopefully it will drop it.
My favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
Yeah. And so this is called a cave roach. And so these guys, yes, a cave roach. And so these guys will live in big caves with lots of bats, and they'll eat the guano that drops on the ground. They'll eat just the other bugs in there, the carcasses. They will eat the plant matter. A cave with these guys, usually you can't see the floor. One, from the guano, and two, because it's crawling with these guys. More kind of a self-cleansing process than the American and German roaches, which are the ones that primarily are the ones that are carrying diseases. Even these are the Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and on them they will actually hiss. They're too used to us. And you see those little things on my hands?
Yeah.
Those are called roach mites, and those go on the roach, and what they do is when they go through food and when they go through the kind of stuff on the bottom, because they're decomposers in the forest and rainforest, and so they eat all the dead leaves and stuff that have climbed off. And what those little mites do is they go in between the segments and they eat up all of the kind of stuff that got stuck there.
Oh,
And so they help to keep the roach clean. And so helpful for the roach, and then they also get a free meal.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And this, I believe, is our Portello Madagascar hisser. Yeah, they are super big. Do you want to hold him? So this is called the blue death-feigning beetle. This is a native species here to Southern California.
That's pretty.
I've never seen that
It's a
before.
beetle.
Yep, they're beetles.
And doesn't fly.
No, they don't fly, but what they do is, let's see if I could get him to do it. Looks like Capricorn. There we go. They play dead. They can play dead for up to 24 hours. And it looks like Capricorn's doing it, but Sagittarius is not. And so he can pretend to be dead, and he's pretty convincing. I mean, a couple. Would you like to hold these guys? These guys are a little smaller.
Yeah, look.
And look, this
That's
one
right.
won't even move.
What big is
Yeah, come on. Beetles are fine.
This is about as big as they get.
Just roll up your sleeves.
Yeah, rub your sleeve, Vicky.
What?
Just rub your sleeve.
hold up,
That's
Roll
right.
up your sleeves. It's fine. It's just
Beetles are fine.
Look, this one's not going to move. I promise.
it's gonna stay that way
It's
for
pretty-
12
He's just going to
hours.
pretend to be dead the whole time.
Come on. Good.
Okay? Ready?
I'm gonna roll up your sleeves.
There we go. See?
See? What does it feel like?
Kind of rough.
It's kind of raw.
I want you to hold it up close, right? Hold it closer to your face. Like,
This one doesn't even move.
He's pretending to be dead.
closer to your face.
Capricorn is probably our best little actor. All of the other ones know our game.
That's so funny.
But he'll pretend to be dead for hours.
Show the camera. Don't move your hand around so much.
Because it felt that a threat is coming.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the other
So,
one's okay though.
yep.
They don't talk to each other.
Anything to lock onto and to see as food, and so they'll wait until it moves. But these guys can play dead for 24 hours. The blue death-feigning beetle.
The blue death fair.
Farling beetle.
Farting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this will be the last insect I'll take out today. And then we'll go back to see the other animals. Come here, big guy. Please don't. You're good. You're good. He's only gonna spray me. So this is called a giant vinegaroon. These guys are. He is also called the whip-tail scorpion, and he is part of the scorpion family, but they do not have a stinger like a scorpion would. Instead, they have this little whip, and what they do with that is when they see something that they don't want near them, like let's say that for him, he's going to point this at us and he's going to spray acetic acid. Now that acetic acid is basically vinegar. It smells like vinegar, and I'm pretty sure it's the same chemical ingredients of vinegar, but I'm not a chemist. And this is because if it gets in your nose, it's going to smell bad and you're not going to want to eat it. If it gets in your mouth, it's going to taste bad. You're not going to want to eat it. And if it gets small to grab onto humans. Oh, he just sprayed my finger.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah. And so these pincers, they can't grab onto fingers or anything. What he uses them for is to pick up little clumps of dirt like this, and then he will also use them to grab onto his prey, which is, he's a carnivorous insect, so he'll eat crickets or other little bugs that he comes across.
Okay. What's he called again?
He's called a vinegaroon.
Vinegaroon. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are some of our rescue animals. Well, 98% of our animals are rescues. These guys are adoptables and sanctuary animals. They came into us recently. Today we're doing kind of an adoption awareness little thing. And so Dusty's up for adoption. So he can live, this is Neville. Say hi, Neville. And Neville was...
He has a low tail.
Yeah, Neville is a case of malnutrition, dehydration, and then he also has a broken jaw, so he is having quite the trouble
He
eating.
has a big tail.
Yes, he does have a big tail. Hi, Neville. And so getting food into him, he came in looking a little worse than this. Broken jaw, it's very hard, because some days he doesn't want to eat, and some days he's...
feet or...
We're currently getting a tube to tube feed him, but so far he's been eating off of a baby spoon. So he'll just lick up his baby food, which is his diet right now because he can't chew. But we use these guys to show that sometimes people don't take proper care of the animals. And
Try it.
you could go 2 fingers down his 2 fingers. There you go.
The chocolate book?
I like to see animals.
You don't want to touch the animals? Okay.
It feels fun. It's the iguana, right?
This is a bearded dragon.
Oh, the bearded dragon.
These guys are...
It's a dragon.
They roam around the gardens or the garages, they will find some roaches.
Yeah, but those will also... A lot of the times, those will have pesticides. Hummer, are you hiding? Okay, bye-bye, Hummer. There's a turtle in here. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, this is a turtle shell. I don't know where the actual tortoise went.
Tortoise.
Probably hiding in that corner.
Oh, how funny.
Yep. And so this is a turtle shell. And so if you look inside, what do you see along the bottom here? Is that...
The spine.
Yeah, the spine. So that's the backbone of the turtle, and they're actually fused to the shell. That means that a turtle cannot come out of its shell at any point in its life, except for when it passes away. And we actually have one that we can scratch right here. He'll kick his leg like a dog that's enjoying a nice scratch. And so these guys are from the Mediterranean. And so kind of Greece and...
Does it go in the water?
Nope. Tortoises do not go in the water.
Tortoises.
Yep. They are land-based. If you throw them in the water, they will sink, which that's not a good thing. They can't swim.
How is movie slow?
Why is it moving slow?
Is that the fastest they can go?
No, they can go faster. We have a sulcata tortoise, and I have heard stories of sulcata tortoises. We used to bring this one that was 70 pounds to an event, and 1 minute we would have the tortoise right next to us. We would turn around to do something, and literally 3 seconds later, the tortoise would be across the...
That's okay.
Come on, Chico. The main difference between tortoises and turtles is their diet. Most tortoises and
Space.
say hi, Chico.
It's just wave.
Yep. They don't seek it out. They don't hunt it. But if it is in its area, it will eat it.
Its fingernails just feels like yours.
Now let's go on. Oh, there you go, Sugar. So this is Sugar. Now, Sugar, wave. Oh, come on. You can do better than that. Come on, wave.
Wait. Oh. How cute.
Say hi. Say hi, Sugar.
Oh, he's wagging his tail.
Hi.
I think he can stay.
Sugar, say hi. Oh, you want to do that?
Is it because it wants to go?
Well, what she really likes to do is if you stand here and turn around and face your dad.
Oh, that's fine.
There we go.
Hi.
Sugar, stay.
That's so
Stay.
funny.
Stay.
This is a lizard.
This is actually an iguana.
Iguana.
Yes, so this is one of our local species that we have here. This is a California
It
desert
looks
iguana.
like a hat.
Does she look like a hat? Yeah, she does kind of look like a hat right now, doesn't she? Now, this is a California desert iguana.
Slimy.
Not that
Can I
slimy.
peel him?
You can.
These guys are from here in Southern
It
California.
looks like a puppet.
She looks like a puppet.
Yeah, I want to pet him.
You can put your hand here, boo boo. Want to?
It looks like he's starving.
He's scared.
I want to
Bubba.
tell
He's
him
scared.
my eye. His nails are pointy.
Yeah, her nails are a little sharp, aren't they?
It should be out.
That's fun.
shaker. Stay. You know this command. Come on, stay. There we go. And so these guys live in the deserts out in El Centro, Ocotillo, most of the deserts, pretty much anything that has what's called the creosote bush. That's their primary food source. And they are actually the only species of iguana in the whole world that is omnivorous. All the rest of them are strictly herbivores. And so she eat that.
It's making sound.
Making
He's
sound.
making sound? Yeah,
Because
he
it's
is making
moving.
sound.
Is that his little like hiding place?
Yep, that's his hide for in here.
Do they like to have companies? I realize that they're all kind of by themselves.
For the most part, no, they don't like to have together because that would produce offspring, and we also don't produce eggs, and that has a lot of calcium in it. And for them to create the eggs, it takes so much energy out of them. And then also for reptiles, the breeding process in general is very violent. So breeding is extremely stressful for the female. This is Mr. Sunshine. You want to pet him?
You should ask how she can tell.
He's kind of spiky.
He is a little spiky, isn't he? And you can tell a male from a female, which, yeah, let's flip you over, Mr. Sunshine. Right here, you can see his hemeral pores. There we go. There we go. And so you can see those little pores right there. And for this species, that's a sign that he's a male.
Fun.
And females don't have that. There's a couple other methods that we use. There's also, on the males, they have these two spots right here, while a female, it would be solid all the way across. And you want to pet him? This is the same species that Neville was. And he is a lot more healthier. You can see that he doesn't have, fat pockets up here are completely full, versus Neville's were sunken in.
She's pretty in the China.
And does it have splits?
Yep, he has a split tongue. Now they use sides to his tongue. And so he uses that to smell where things are. That's to help protect them against the brambles that are from the area that they come from.
The best yellow scales on her legs.
And in Argentina, a lot of people are currently moving into the area where they're from. And so to compensate for that, these guys have kind of turned into their versions of the raccoons. So they will go into the dumpsters and the garbage cans and they'll eat all of the thrown away food. They eat a lot of fruit and a lot of meat, and their meat would be whole prey, so like a rat or a whole chicken. Well, in the wild, a rat is going to just run away.
Oh, okay.
So a rat's going to have a whole bunch of room to run away. They don't have a need to stand and turn and fight.
Right. That's true.
But in a box, which most people feed live in a little box, there is no room for them to run, and they will get defensive.
Go back.
Does he want to go back? Do you want to go back, Juby? Okay, let's go back.
What kind of animal was this again?
This is a Argentine black and white tegu.
Okay. Tegu?
Tegu. T-E-G-U.
T-E-G-U? Okay, Tegu.
I don't know if I'll remember. When she moves,
So right. And so these guys are very similar. The only thing that they have different is the coloration. This is what's called a constrictor. You can come up and pet her. Phoebe's very
constrictor.
sweet.
It's a constrictor.
Yep. So this is BB.
BB?
BB.
BB.
Let's move over here. So it's BB. So this is BB. BB is what's called a red-tailed boa. And she is a constrictor. These guys are from South America. And they are more of an arboreal snake species.
If you're scared, don't go to the head. Go to the tail. Tail is okay. Just don't go to the head.
Their scales will shine kind of a rainbow sheen. That's called iridescence. And these guys are very, very pretty to look at. And she's actually one of the more natural colors that they are. A lot of people in captivity, they will breed them for different colors. If you see that yellow snake over there, will breed them into different colors because a new, what's called a color morph of the animal will sell for a lot more than the traditional colors. Most of the snakes know the president and know not to mess with the rules with her. I'm not the president. I am just the employee, so sometimes they'll be like, hey, this is... You think she wants to go back? You want to go back, baby? I think you're right.
So.
Yeah, I think you're right. He is what's called a blood python. And so these guys live in kind of marshy waterways down in Southeast Asia, in kind of the India area.
I see the mouth.
And so this is Taffy. And these guys are very
In nature, like
in the wild.
in the wild, like
Even-
I don't. A lot of times I just want to stay away. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen after.
That's most people's philosophy. But one quick and easy way to know whether it's venomous or not is the tail. If it comes to this kind of a block shape, it's a rattlesnake, and that is the only venomous snake that come from eggs. Usually the eggs are about this big, and so when they're born, they're about maybe this long for the most part, and so they can grow pretty quickly. He here is only 2 years old, and so in 2 years, yes, Taffy's going up. Where are you going, Taffy?
I think you have to go out again. What's in
Who's in there? Who's that?
Iguana?
This is a dragon.
It's another dragon.
So this is what's called the Chinese water dragon. And these guys are an arboreal lizard species from the rainforest in China.
Look, this dragon's scared of new people.
Oh, that's me. But she did lose her tail before she came to us. She also has something called metabolic bone disease. So if you see the shape of her legs and how they kind of stay in that position, that's from that. What? You guys are from Africa. These are one of the closest living relatives to the Komodo dragon. And these guys, hi Pepper. And these guys are carnivores, very strictly carnivores, so they will only eat meat. You can dress the salad up in a bunny costume.
To maintain.
They are very... bigger than this. From what I hear, a very great
He
education
has
animal.
a very
They're going
low
to give us
tail.
Yeah.
He has a
So how much bigger